going on, man? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Straight Go-Go Talk. Here with another guest. I told you we're going to keep this thing moving. It's my man. This is my man Ice. Love. Listen to this Bama Time, Let's Dance. We're going to get into that too. But go ahead and tell everybody, who you are, man. What band you play for, what you got going on right now.
Well, right now, DJing is my thing. But go-go is my heart. So it's like, you can never leave it alone. And right now I'm with Amardon band. I'm playing percussion for Amardon band. I was playing the drums and stuff, but with my schedule and everything, kind of just got out of hand. So I had to fall back from the drums a little bit. But I missed it, so I went back to it. Playing percussions and everything. But my roots come from occupation.
Yeah, definitely.
My roots come from occupation.
Okay. How long have you been around the go-go circuit? Just mainly, strictly, just go-go.
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. My first drum set was a put together, pots and pans.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that, I mean, I grew up down Robinwood in 20, but I started down Robinwood listening to Go-Go Boopy and all of them back when they had the band's high frequency classification. And they used to have the real instruments out on the block. So we used to sit out there and then we started making our own pots and pans. So we used to have Robinwood Junkyard Band. But then when I moved down 20 and I grew up a little bit, I got my first real drum set. So we talking like about 92 when I got my first real drum set. And my man Greeny, we knew each other from school. We always occupation. So I followed them as just a fan.
Right.
And I've been a go-go lover, collector for as long as I can remember. I go Trouble Funk. I got records, still got Trouble Funk records and everything. But I can say I came into the go-go scene in about 93. That's when I actually got my start in the band, 93.
Okay. Who were some of the people who actually inspired you, when you were younger? I think you touched on that a little bit when you were just explaining, your history. Who were some of the people, like individuals and bands, that inspired you to be like, man, I want to be on this center stage right here when you were younger?
I was a junk fan. I'm a junkyard fan. I'm a junkie, man.
I consider myself a jungle man.
Right. I'm a junkie.
Yeah.
So, of course, Heavy One was my man.
Absolutely.
And Heavy One passed in 92. So, I really couldn't follow him no more. Once I really got in the play, I couldn't follow him no more. So, of course, who I started following? Budgie from Backyard.
Yeah.
So, my first real playing came from me practicing every day after school, listening to Backyard tape in my headphones, playing behind Buddy.
Wow. How did you get with, I remember Occupation back in the day, and they had Carl Anderson. Carl has moved on to some, I don't necessarily make it like,
shout out C-Man.
Absolutely.
C-Man.
He's moved on to, he does the
gospel.
gospel. Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Carl played for Trouble Funk.
Watching him, back in the day, and then, Lime Green, Dante, Bud, Bosco with the saxophone, man, I came up on that, you know what I'm saying? And
I was a fan at the time.
And I used to look up, man, and me and Darren was like this, and when he passed, man, that was devastating. It was devastating to all of us. So, and he always, like I said, he always would inspire me, like, man, you can do it, And I just kept pushing, and just believed in myself, and then that's when I took it from there, and I actually was able to, do my own thing.
Well, it's funny that you said it because I was friends with almost everybody in Occupation Band just from the outside.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell you how to really, they played down 20 Day.
Mm-hmm.
I was out on the basketball court, I'll never forget.
Remember that
It was 10-18-92.
Good Lord of mercy.
The front line was Gavin, Greeny, and Dern. Dern and Father Purr was playing the bass. Mark had the Casio keyboards.
Yeah.
Oscar was on the horn. Purr played the bass and the trumpet.
Multi-talented, man.
Man, and I'm telling you, they that day right there, I just kept saying, man, I want to be in this band. Mm-hmm. So Green was like, I'm going to find some way to put you in this band. Because they knew I played drums and stuff. So I used to mess around, had little bands down 20 with Darren and them, just messing around. But Greeny came to me, he called me up one day. He was like, you want to be in the band? I'm like, man, stop playing. You know, I know Carl ain't going nowhere.
Right.
He was like, nah, Rollertons, Wood Blocks, all of that stuff. You got to start. I'm like, man, look. He was like, come to practice. That was 93. So I rode with Ox from 93 up until about 95.
Okay.
And we actually, no, let me get it right. The end of 94, a lot of us graduated from high school.
Okay.
And we went, Malachi went to Montana.
Yeah.
I went to Morgan State. We just dispersed.
Right.
So somewhere around 95, Greeny decided, man, we need to get back together. So I was in Baltimore, so I was, back and forth. But he was like, this time, I need you on the drums. I'm like, I have a call. He was like, Carl don't want to do it no more. Wow. So I'm like, as long as Carl don't want to do it, because that's my man, 50 grand,
right.
I mean, nothing but respect. But I can actually say and tell you, and I mean, I don't want nobody to take this wrong or whatever, but you got occupation before 95, 96. You got occupation after 99, 2000. The real core occupation was from 96 to 99. That's the occupation that everybody remembers. I'm going to say 2000 because that Showdown came out about 2000.
Okay.
And that's like an occupation signature right there.
Right.
But you take Showdown out the picture because that's when occupation got back together. Matter of fact, that was about 05. I'm wrong. I got my years, I'm getting old. But the main core, when we was playing at Club in Vogue and we was playing in DC, I mean, when we was like, when the occupation was like the stuff around the necks. 96 to 99. And that's when we have reunions, that's the band we put back together. So we get a lot of people coming like, oh, why Carl ain't here? Why Booger, Dante, Oscar? We got nothing but love for those guys. But when we sit down and we play, I don't know if y'all can hear in the background, some of this stuff, this is what people remember.
That's true.
When we was really packing the house.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to say 96 to 99 was at my peak years.
Hey, like I said, man, that's history right there for you.
Oh yeah, I mean TDP was right with us.
Man, and like I said, it felt good, man, to play with y'all, even if it was opening. But what the one problem? Everybody was so much of a fan to y'all. I used to feel like they was afraid to party with us and know that it was okay. You know what I'm saying?
But guess what? The thing about it, when it was TDP and OCC, it was a party.
It was.
From jump to finish. It wasn't one of them things where it's no, okay, TDP playing, so ain't nobody coming. Mm-hmm. No, everybody was making sure they get there early so they can get the whole show. Mm-hmm. The whole show. I mean, come on. Y'all got legends from y'all band. Brandon, Dirk, Bucky.
Yeah. Major icons, I'm dudes and
I flipped it around. I look up to you, Bucky and Darren, man. Them guys is awesome now, man.
And I mean, the thing about it is, I handcrafted that band, and I'm not gloating or anything like that, but I thought of that name sitting home one day, and I heard a Value City commercial. The joint came up, and it was like, we got total prices that'll blow you out of this dimension. I like, you know what? Might be on to something. Let's went from there, man. And I had a lot of fun with them guys. I still love them dudes, man.
Y'all was building, we was passing down Bywaters, and y'all was building right down there too.
Sure enough was.
I remember.
Absolutely. I asked everybody this question. It's sort of a touchy subject for some people. How do you feel about the drama, underhanded, backstabbing that's going on? Because it's definitely going on. And how do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Do you sometimes, try to figure out a way like, man, how can we curb this? We got to do something about this, because with the city councils and stuff that's giving go, that they've always been trying to give go bad. Right. But as I said to Lime Green, I covered in his segment, a lot of go-go bands are shooting the Waldorf now to try to play, because they even running them out of DC. They don't want you in there. If you're a club owner, they don't want you to have a go-go band in there. I'm a club owner, but you're going to tell me what I can have, who I can have, performing in my club.
Believe it or not, they running back to Annapolis too.
Yeah.
I mean, me doing the cranking Wednesdays on Whiskeys for the last year, I contacted and talked to a lot of bands, and they really not playing like that.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It's only a few promoters out here. You got Halim, Black, and you got Dre and Tidy, another level.
And they doing it, man.
They the only ones, besides us at the Whiskey, they the only ones bringing bands. Now, see, we don't have the means to bring all the top name bands every week down here, but if we'll do a special show, you know what I mean? Like Halim had Essence out the Whiskey last week, and then we had Junkyard at the end of last summer, which we probably gonna try to bring back again. It's small, but it's a party spot. And I mean, as far as a whole bunch of the stuff, that underhanded stuff never really stopped. And it's sad because I'm a go-go head, and even though I don't get to get out there and see the bands, and I don't be inside a whole lot of stuff. I'm on the site on Facebook, the Go-Go Convo.
Yeah.
And there's so much bickering in between there.
I be trying to figure out for what though, man.
It don't make no sense because nobody in Go-Go Convo is above the next one. Some bands might be making a little bit more money. Some bands might be playing a little more than the other. But when you all think about it, nobody is playing national.
Right.
So really, for another band to tear down another band, it's really, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get it. I like go-go. And if you crank, you crank. I play in bands.
Bottom line.
But I'm the first one down there standing there listening to the band that's cranking.
Right.
And I give nothing but respect. You know what I'm saying? Because just because I play in a band, I'm not gonna take away from what I love by hating on somebody else. I love playing in the go-go band.
Period.
But I love the sound of go-go more than I love playing in the band. So if I'm there cranking to you, 9 times out of 10, I like to get some type of bump in my truck.
Right.
Or spin.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time it's spin. A lot of go-go bands give me stuff so I can spin. And I try to keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? And right now, honestly, it's a lot of cranking bands out here that's not getting heard. But there's also a lot of cranking bands out here that know they crank. And they know they crank. So it's like they kind of nonchalant with it because they know they crank. It's not like back in the day when every band put out a CD every week.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that.
It's not like that.
I want take a time. Shouts to 360. Shouts to my man Trey, man, my man Hut. Love you, homeboy. Love you for supporting the show. Shouts to my man Cool Bubba, Gambino, Malachi. Another major icon. Been playing kind of freestyle, trying to get Mally on it too.
I got too many shout outs. All I can do is just shout out that whole OCC nation. Y'all know who y'all is. The whole core. Lee Green, Gavin, rest in peace, Dern, PJ. Shout out to Jimmy, my partner in crime. Michi, man. Michael Arnold, Mark, Little Chris. I mean, we have a core from Occupation that has went on and did bigger things. You got Greeny and DB who play with 360.
Right.
You got Lee who been in Northeast Groovers and now with Amardon. Malachi was Northeast Groovers. Little Chris Northeast Groovers. Now with the mix and whoever else, because I mean, keyboard player extraordinaire.
He another one that came
but
from TV.
all of these guys started right here and had a little pothole in the necks.
Yeah.
But guess what? You go uptown anywhere and put a half of them guys' name out, and they come from Occupation. So in all actuality, we could go uptown and play as Occupation, and people would probably be like, "Wow, who was these cats?"
Yeah.
I mean, as a whole, but separate, they were like, "Oh, I know him."
Plug your contact information, man.
Well, look, man, like I said, Amardon Band. We out here doing the thing, trying to rep for Annapolis. We got Project 360, Amardon Band. We all representing from Annapolis, and I'm always available with the DJ. So make sure you hit me up. You can hit me on Facebook. You can hit me on my phone. My number is on the bathroom walls. 410-212-2999. Been my number for 10 years. So anybody try to say I ain't had your number, your boy got it, or your homegirl got it. I ain't even trying to hear that. I ain't even trying that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, and I also want to shout out the Crankin' Wednesdays at the Whiskey. Make sure y'all come on out, support the bands. I mean, we got Project 360 on the house and Faces You Know on the house. Those two bands keep the whiskey going on Wednesday nights. But I'm gonna give a shout out to all the bands because Amardon coming up in there. We got Subtle Darts coming down through there. It's gonna be hot this summer, so make sure y'all come on out. That's each and every Wednesday, Crankin' Whiskey.
Absolutely. Just one more question, man, before you get about you.
Okay.
One word. I know this is kind of hard. In one word, describe Darren Hudson, man.
Phenomenal.
Good. Phenomenal. Simply put.
All I can say is that man was before his time, after his time, and I have never met anybody like Darren. I've never met anybody like Darren that could actually. This guy could fill in on anything that we needed in practice. If I wasn't at practice, Darren could play the drums. If Nietzsche wasn't there, he could play the combos. If Mark or Mike wasn't there or Chris wasn't there, he could play the keyboard. He sing, he rap, and the crazy thing about it, he was so intimidating because he did it all good. He didn't just do it, he did it good. To the point where as though he was a little arrogant with it at times, but that was Darren. That was Darren. And one of the realest dudes I ever told. He was one of the only dudes that would tell you straight to your face, you suck.
You suck.
You suck.
And that ain't hitting on, man. You got it rolled.
He would not.
Straight like that.
And don't care if you get punched in his face, he would tell you, you suck. And there's some bad members out here that know Darren and told them they suck, and they really walked away feeling like they sucked.
He definitely, critiqued my craft, and I had no problems with it because that was my man. Once again, man, I want to thank everybody who's been supporting Straight Go-Go Talk. I know it's been some couple bad feeds about like, oh man, y'all on there, y'all. It's not about that. This man to tell you, it's an honor. I'm glad that you came on, man. I've been playing freeze tag, trying to get in contact with everybody. I just didn't want anybody to feel like I didn't reach out to everybody. It was yay or nay. You know what I'm saying? Either you want to come on or you don't want to come on.
Right.
With that being said, man, you can check. You can look for each clip, all 3 clips so far, and you can find this clip as well when it goes up. On my YouTube channel. I don't have a Facebook, I don't have Instagram, and I don't do Twitter. That's just me. I stay out of the drama, and that's not to knock anybody that uses Facebook or Twitter or any of the other social networks. That's just me, H-A-double. That's just how I roll. But you can, catch all the clips on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is BOOCABEAR.
And I'm gonna be blasting them all on my Facebook.
Absolutely.
I'm in the go-go groups. I'm in the keeping it real groups, and we're gonna blow it up. We're gonna blow it up. This is a message that needs to be put out there. We're gonna blow it up.
One last question. Do you think go-go will ever break mainstream? I'm talking about that Jay-Z money. Were you playing before every week? Your concerts is selling out over the world. I mean, because when you talk about Sugar Bear doing the butt, like Lime Green said, it smashed the mainstream. You can go to Australia, everybody know what doing the butt is. But do you think that go-go will ever break mainstream? Or do you think it'll just stay this DMV, the metropolitan area?
I really honestly think go-go will always, the heart of go-go will be right here at DMV. But I do think that if you listen to a lot of music now, a lot of flavor is getting drawn from go-go.
That's true.
So with that, when more people start to take the go-go from here, then it'll give the bands more area to get out there. I actually thought it was on its way when the Roots started doing some go-go with their stuff.
Right.
But it's kind of hard because go-go is you have to be a special person to like it.
You do.
I mean,
understand it too.
Understand, right? I understand because the DMV area we love it. That's what we do. But when you present it to some other people that's not from here, they can enjoy it. But I'm not.